Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Wake Up Podcast with your hosts Lucy
Aisha.
and we are on episode 15. Wow, that is crazy. I can't remember what else I don't think I've done the intro in weeks.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, episode 15. We had some big things planned for today, and then they didn't happen because we're stupid and whatever. But we are gonna do that idea next week. So, well, the next week we film. So stay tuned for that. So today we were gonna talk about adulthood and not being a child anymore and what the stresses of that means for us at our current stage in our lives, being young adults. So how have you been?
Just life, man. You know how it is. We were just talking before we started filming. It's so hectic at the minute, and like especially in lockdown 3 as well. I feel just tired, even if I'm not going out and just staying home, like doing nothing. I'm just exhausted. But yeah, no, not too bad. I actually went into work last week. I went into school to support community classrooms, like looking after the kids.
You ate a kid sandwich?
No, listen, I thought, wait, let me clear this up before this becomes a controversy. We were told, yeah, if we go in, we get a free lunch. So I was like, yeah, sick, let me get my free lunch. All the kids went out for lunch, right? They went to play outside. I thought they'd already eaten their lunch, yeah. So there was one bag on the side. I thought, this must be mine, yeah? So I took it. And then, I don't know what happened. I think I didn't hear anything, but I'm assuming everything's fine, but yeah, I didn't know if that was for me or not. But
Wow.
yeah, but no, it's been good. I went into work. It was good to get out of the house to
As
actually
long as no
see
one went
other
hungry.
people. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
I said as long as you didn't get in trouble and a child didn't go hungry.
Yeah, I thought I did. I thought I was going to be in trouble, but it was a false alarm. Everything was fine, so yeah, it was good. Not too bad.
Good.
But yeah,
Good.
how about you?
I've been really busy.
Yeah.
Like, I've got 2 part-time jobs, one of which is my old job, and the other job is a job doing co-directing for my university, which I'm getting paid for, which is great. And also I'm training 4 times a week at the minute with, I don't know her app, but let me plug it for her. I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's Indie Fit. It's India, 2 A's _fit. And yeah, so that's been great. But it means I'm super busy. But I'm just like kind of tired of like the same repetitive, boring stuff. Like, kind of just want to see people. Like, this lockdown's the worst because it's just like
100%. Yeah.
you can't even go out. Like, you can't, not even like to meet people, but like you'll do a day of work and then you come home and it's dark. Like, you can't even go out for a walk and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite lucky because I have to walk my dog, so like I have to get out and stuff. But it's just like, when you've done like 10 till 4 on Zoom and you've finally finished all your bits and then you try and go for a walk, it's dark. It's like, well, that's not happening now, is it? So
Yeah. The
anyway,
day's
yeah.
over. Yeah. But you've been going off with your fitness. I've been seeing her progress. Her bicep, rah, look, go. No. I mean, I'm proud of you for like staying dedicated and motivated because, like, yeah, like you said, this lockdown has been the hardest for sure.
Yeah.
I think everyone's just sick and tired of it now.
Sick and tired.
Oh dear.
Oh, that was the other Bust It one I was meant to do. You know, the Bust It challenge was like, Bust It. So there's a BTS one now, and it goes into disease at the end. So when you go, instead of going Bust It, it goes, sick and tired. Oh, and I was meant to do it today, and I forgot. I'll have to do it another time.
Definitely do it. We need to see it. We need that TikTok content. Lucy is a TikTok queen. She's coming up. She's coming through those viral videos. Go and follow her. She's
I've
making
still
mad
got a video
moves.
that's got 60,000 views, and it's just me reacting to someone in a gimp suit. But it's not really what I want to be known for, to be honest.
You need to change the brand.
Yeah, and I uploaded it. I did a TikTok of like my fitness at the beginning of the month and the end of the month because I've been able to do something I couldn't at the beginning. And someone was like, the TikTok's like, how did I go from this to this? It's like, I'm a Borica, I'm living in my own world. Anyway, someone commented, you stopped ego lifting. I was like, I've never lifted weights for my own ego. I've lifted weights to get fit. So I didn't reply, but I was a bit like, what's such a weird comment?
I know. I mean, it's the
Sorry,
price
go
of
on.
fame, isn't it? It's the price of
I know.
fame. When you're famous like Lucy, you have to put up with all this hate, and it's like,
I did a TikTok once as well where I was like, how come the TikTok that goes viral on my account is me just reacting and not even putting effort in? Then I put all these effort into these other ones and nothing happens to them. And like when I say viral, I don't mean like it's got millions of views. I just mean in comparison to all my other ones, 60,000 views is quite a lot compared to like the 200 views I've had on other ones. So it's like, and then some girl who's about 9 years old replied, your TikTok isn't even viral. I was like, what the fuck? Getting attacked. And then I wanted to write a mean comment, but I was like, she's probably like 10. Like, I can't.
listen, you got to do what you got to do. Fight her. I don't
I'm
care.
getting attacked already. I'm like, I haven't even got any followers or likes or views, and I'm getting attacked. I was like,
Jeez.
Jesus.
It's too much of fame, but
It's the price you pay. You're right. It's the price you pay for fame.
absolutely. But yeah, shall we get into today's
Yes, the
topic?
episode. Sorry. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about adulthood and growing up and becoming independent and how we found it and everything that comes with that. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a big topic, but I just want to start off by asking, like, when do you think your adulthood started? Do you think it started, because a lot of people say it starts at like when you turn 18 or 21, or do you think it's after uni, or have we even reached it yet? So like, what does it mean to you? What do you think?
For me,
Yeah.
personally, I think adulthood for me was when I went to university.
Okay.
Um, because, and it's not just because of the age, I just think it was the situation and scenario. Because although, yes, I was financially supported by my parents, because my parents were in the bracket where like you don't get anything from the government really. So they did help me pay for my accommodation, but I was the one that was. I'm not saying they never bought me food or anything. I just mean I was the one day in and day out cooking my own food, buying it. Something broke, I had to deal with it. I had to get to places and whatever. I couldn't rely on my parents at uni. So I think when you stop relying on them, that's when you start to become an adult. And I learned a lot at uni. Like I realized, I mean, I wasn't in a very mentally good place before I went to university, but I feel like I grew up and took a lot more responsibility when I came back. Like my mum started to notice I just did things without being asked, and because when you live on your own, you realize all the things that you have to do. Not that I was like really lazy and didn't do anything, because I used to do all the cooking and stuff anyway at home, but it's just when it's all on you and there's no one else to be like, well, why haven't they done a job in the house? Like, I think that's when I started to become really independent, especially because I looked after everyone in my accommodation. I was the mum in my accommodation. So yeah, I guess then for me, I don't know what your take on when you think adulthood started for you or
Yeah,
has started.
sort of similar. But yeah, I definitely agree with what you said there, because it's about like responsibility, isn't it? So when you couldn't rely on your parents anymore, especially if you live in a way, you literally by yourself, so could only be responsible with yourself. Yeah, so it's sort of similar. I wouldn't say mine started at uni. I would say it started just after. And I think like the reason I say that is because one of the reasons is I didn't move out like for the whole 3 years like you did. I lived at home, so I still had my family with me or close by. In second year when I did move out, I could just go home. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I learned a lot at uni, independence and stuff, especially with like actual uni work, like managing your workload. They don't tell you to do stuff like they do at school. You do the work you want to do. You put in as much effort as you want, and then you'll get the results that you deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like I learned a lot about myself, like mentally as well and stuff. But I feel like now after uni, I've learned all that things and I've had those experiences.
Mm.
After uni, that's when adulthood started for me, because I've taken all that and now I'm like using that in my everyday life. Like I don't even have uni as a structure to follow now. I decide what I do. So I applied for my own job, I found it
Interesting.
myself. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like
Yeah.
I'm in charge of everything in my life now, whereas when I applied to uni there was still sort of that structure there that I had to follow. I was still like a student.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I don't know whether the theatre students, like, we have a structure to follow, but a lot of the time the responsibility is on us. Like when we have shows and stuff, it's up to us to find rehearsal time. Like the lecturers will be like, you need to rehearse, but they never tell us, like, I don't know if it's probably similar for media, but I feel like we had to do a lot of stuff after first year, especially. It was like, this is your go now. You're like, whoa. Like at school, like it's really strict. It's like you have to be sat and watched and stuff, and you get to uni and they're like, we're not holding your hand, you can do it, you are pretty capable of doing this. And you're like, what? But no, I also lived on my own as well after first year. I lived in that was an experience. That's not against that. Not that it was bad, it was just a accommodation. Anyway, so yeah. So I really had to do everything on my own. But I liked it. I like the solitude, like on your own. I like
Yeah.
being on my own. I think there was a time where like I probably wouldn't have been comfortable on my own, but I really enjoyed it. Just having my own space to breathe, and I quite like the responsibility that it's all my mess and everything.
Yeah.
Like no one else is invading it, or there's no room for me to blame anyone else. The responsibility is mine. So, but was my room always a mess when you came over, or was it all right?
No, it's
Give
all
me
right.
the truth.
The truth is, you're honestly quite clean. You're honestly like quite tidy. Even if it was messy, it was like an organized mess. So
Yeah,
you had like things
it's
where
like
you,
books in certain places, like a stack of books, especially when I was doing my dissertation.
yeah.
But
No, no, that's good, honestly. But like, would you say as well,
yeah,
like, like being alone, in a studio and stuff, like not sharing your accommodation, do you think that freedom and like having your own mess forced you to grow up as well, because it's literally just you, so you like learn about yourself?
probably,
Yeah.
probably. Like it's not even like you can ask a roommate, can you get this on the way home? You have to get it if you want something. When you live on your own, you have to get it. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it though. I liked it. The only thing I didn't like was how small it was.
Yeah.
I like because I love cooking and the kitchen's tiny in that little room. I always think like I wonder who's living in there now. Like I lived there for the first 2 years that room was ever built.
You christened that room. That is your
I
room.
did. I did christen that room. Let's not talk about the ways it was christened, but I did christen that room
The
in
memories
a lot
you
of
have in
different
that
ways.
room.
That room has seen many firsts. That room's probably traumatized. To be
Shout out to
fair.
that room. Shout out to, what room is it?
Oh my god, what room was it? 18, room 18.
Yeah.
It was. I was in B. I was in block A, 10, floor 10. Was it 18?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's only been like not that long and I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, it probably did force me to be independent. Because like all the people around me kind of left as well. Like Sam moved uni, Kyle dropped out, Aislinn was far away. Well, she wasn't far away. She was in the. Where was she first? She was with you, so she was far. So the second year she was far. So it was like everyone kind of left, and I was like, I had Zoe and stuff, my friends that lived near me, but it was just like weird.
Yeah, especially in uni, it's like people just, you meet people and then they just go, and yeah, it's just crazy how many people you meet in that.
It is.
But yeah, we've talked a bit about uni and our experience there, but like, how's life been after uni for you? So how have you been like adjusting to the responsibilities and like things after it?
Sorry, I think I've just absolutely like squashed my mic. Um, I think one thing that's stressing me out, but it's fine because I have all the money for it now, is I got a car, so I now have the responsibility of paying car insurance every year.
Yeah.
So I've got all the money for it now. I've got to pay it in, it's May or March. It's an M. I can't remember, but I've got all the money for it. But it's like then you start thinking like you got to pay for petrol and got to pay for this, got to pay for that. And I luckily don't have to pay board at home. My parents don't make me pay. Because I walk the dog. So my mum doesn't have to take the dog work. We have to leave the dog. I walk the dog 3 times a week, and I do the cooking. I do some cleaning, even though it's probably not up to my mum's standards. But I do that. It's like my service, I guess. But it's just like stressful, isn't it? You got to get a job, and then COVID, and what the hell. But the car insurance thing is the most stressful thing for me at the minute. But I've sorted it. But I want a different car. Not
That's,
now, but I'm like thinking, I know what car I want next. So I'm like, how do I even save up for that?
that's what it's like though, isn't it? Especially as an adult, like leveling up, like you start off with the basics, like, you know, your first car or your first place, but then it's constantly like, okay, I want to get a bigger car, I want to get a bigger place, and it's just like, kind of feels like non-stop now. This is the start of everything else. Do you know
That's
what
the
I mean?
hustle. The hustle life started.
The grind don't stop. Period.
We ain't stopping.
Honestly.
What
But
about you?
yeah, it's just been like kind of weird because like for the first like nearly 6 months after uni, I was unemployed. You know what I mean? It's not like I wasn't looking for a job, but I was just kind of like overwhelmed by this is life now. So I was at
Mhm.
home and stuff, and yeah, it was weird because I knew in my head like I don't want to. Part of me was like, I don't want to rush into a job. I don't want to do something that I hate, but I also need money, and I feel like crap because I'm not being productive. I don't have a job. So yeah, it was like all these worries, and I think it's the pressure of like, this is the start of your rest of your life now. You need to have a plan in place. You need to know what you want to do. You need to start making those moves, and it's just like, oh, like that pressure isn't great. Do you know what I mean? Did
Yeah,
you?
it's stressful.
Yeah. Do you feel like you had that?
Yeah. Like I had this plan, of like what I was gonna do next. My plan was every year in October we have the directing module at uni, and they always bring a graduate back to help direct it. And I was like, come October, I'm going to apply for that and I'm going to really try and get it. So that's like my first step in. And then I was going to email this company called Talking Birds who said that if they had apprenticeships that they'd take me on. So I was going to email them. So I had like these little plans of who to contact, and like my final project, would have been inviting artists and stuff to look at the work, to see what I've produced and that. But obviously that didn't happen. So my plan kind of crumbled, and I was kind of like, the first lockdown, I didn't have a job. I was on universal credit, which was interesting. And you like have to prove that you're applying for jobs and stuff,
Yeah.
which is boring. But yeah, so I only did about 2-3 months on universal credit, I think. And then I was like, oh, I wonder if my friend, we used to work at the shop that I'm working at, knows anyone who still works at it, knows if I can get a job. And then he was like, leave it with me. And then a couple of days or something later, I was emailing my CV over, and then I had a job interview, which was like, looking back now, it's just so funny because I was like bricking it. And secretly, I had been sent the interview questions beforehand. So I
Yeah.
knew what questions I was going to get asked, right? Um, but my manager kept pressing on, like, and what else? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not qualified for this job. I mean, anyone can do it. Anyone can learn how to do my job, but I wasn't like qualified, like I'd done retail before or anything.
Yeah.
So I was just bluffing my way through it, and honestly finessed my manager. But I know how to do my job. It's not hard. As long as you get trained how to do it, it's all right. But yeah, so funny. What a
Yeah.
mess, honestly.
It's
But
mad.
yeah.
Yeah, especially like applying for a job and stuff. Because I can remember when I applied for the job I have now, and I was crapping myself as well. So yeah, And it's like, when you do the job, you realize, you look back and it's not that deep. Like, it's
Yeah.
not as deep as you thought it was. But I guess that's just life. Like, you know, you get over things. But when you're younger as well, you think, oh, when I'm 21, I'm going to have this job and I'm going to smash the interview and I'm going to be really good at this job, then I'm going to get promotion. And it's not like that. It's not. I mean, you might succeed in the way you think you are, but it's not as easy as you think it's going to be. It's not smooth sailing.
Oh no. I think as well what's funny is like the difference in like the older generation and the younger generation getting jobs, like the mindset. Like I feel like I remember when I was younger, my mum and dad were like, just print your CV out and go and walk around town and hand them out. But I've done that before, and they go, we don't take paper CVs. You must apply online.
Yeah.
My parents were like, no, 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 just go out. You're gonna get the job. And I remember when our house flooded and we had to move to the village over. Mum was like, oh, they're looking for someone at the co-op. Go, they really like us. Go hand in your CV. I'm sure you'll get the job. Hand in my CV. Never heard from them. Why's she lying? Why's she lying?
It's a scam. It's honestly, yeah. I mean, I've had that before as well with where was it I applied? My mom was like, I think it was like Creams or something. She knew someone that worked at Creams. So when I was like 16, 17, I applied for there. And IKEA as well. My older sister used to work at IKEA and she managed to get me an interview. And I had the interview and they didn't ask me back. And it's just like, okay, what happened to the loyalty? No, it's just, it is what it is. And like the job market is so hard. Like so many people are applying for jobs. Even before COVID, it was
Oh yeah, it was
very,
hard even
very
before then. Yeah.
competitive. But now if we look, I mean, thank God, luckily we found jobs and we're making money. There are a lot of people who are unemployed. So like,
You know, I hate my job.
it's crazy. It'd be like
I
that.
don't hate it. I'm really fed up of it at the minute. It's so hard. We're so understaffed and everything. And it's like, you tell the people there that we're understaffed and they're like, no, we're not. Like, I literally ran the entire checkouts on Friday night with one person from 8:30. So I had to do the counting, serve customers, do the bins tags with one person. One person from 8:30 to 11.
Oh my God. I mean,
And I had to do breaks as well. Anyway, it pissed me off.
that's crazy. It's like so hard, like especially during these times. Like, we're not gonna lie to you, we're not doing the jobs that we thought we'd always do. Like, we just,
Oh, hell no.
especially like retail as well. You know, that's not what you want to do forever. But yeah, we've got to make money and stuff. But especially, yeah, like you said, working super hard. Like they're overworking you, key workers and stuff. It's just, it's hard to deal with
I'm meant to
knowing
get
that
a
you're
bonus.
doing stuff. Huh?
To get a bonus. I'm meant to get a bonus this month, so I
You
better.
better.
Someone was like, we're getting it in March. And I was like, but we projected it in February, so I'm like, I better. I get 100 quid extra.
If you don't get
But
it,
I don't
kick
even
off.
earn that much. You were rolling in the pennies, man. You're on a paid salary, right?
Yeah,
I'm not even on salary, so I get paid by hour.
man, it is hard. It is hard out here. It'd be like that.
Minimum wage is going up, so my pay's going up. So
We
from
flex it.
£9.40 to £10.40 in April.
Yes, we love that. We do love that. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like, but the whole thing, if we go back to jobs and stuff, like applying for jobs and stuff, like how did you find that whole process? Because they tell us about it at school, like CVs and stuff, and how to act in interviews.
Oh mate, I'm sick at interviews.
Are you?
Yeah, but I do theatre, so I just pretend like no, I don't pretend. When I'm in the mind frame of an interview, I'm not thinking, oh, this is a theatre show, whatever. I'm not in that mind frame, but I'm used to like having to improvise.
Yeah.
So I just make it up, you know. Like my manager's asking me all this stuff, and he also, I think one of the questions was like, well, why do you like our store or something like what's special about our store? And I was like, I have been coming here since I was literally like a baby, but like, what the fuck? So I'm just like, oh, the amazing vegan range you have. I love the vegan coleslaw. I'm vegan myself. Da, da, da. I just fucking, you know what I mean? Anyway, are you employed with me? So what the fuck?
There you go. You would.
Either he's stupid or I'm amazing, you know? Um, but yeah, so I did find it stressful. I was really nervous for it. And like, I mean, what's new that the job description, I didn't even know what job I was going for or anything. Like, and then they were just like, yeah, you've got to turn up on Sunday. I'm like, what? I'm like, I have plans. Well, I can't change it. And stuff like that. You've got to come this day, and it's like 2 days, and you're like, what?
I remember.
Um,
I remember that happened. You were like, "Oh yeah, I'll start in 2 days." Like, what the hell? That's crazy.
it's mad, isn't it? I
Yeah.
was really nervous at first because obviously I'm really young, and like the role I thought I was going for was just like stacking shelves.
Mm.
I'm a team leader. I'm a supervisor. What the hell happened? That's what I want to know. What the hell happened? And then that's why I was so stressed out, and I was like crying on the phone to my mum, all stressed because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't even know what job I'm applying for, and they've given me no information. And I've got to start on Monday because I get really stressed out. So, but yeah, I mean, it's all fine now. But looking back, I can understand. I'm still thinking. Looking back, I'm like, I understand why I was stressed. I had like no information about my job. But there you go. That's working in a supermarket for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Like retail, I have never worked in retail, and I'm not mad about it. Not gonna lie
Yeah,
to you,
so
I'm not upset about it.
especially in the pandemic, being a key worker has been hard. I mean, when I say key worker, it kind of feels a bit naff to say you're a key worker when you don't work in the NHS. But like, I am a place where we have not closed,
Yeah.
so we are an essential worker,
Mhm.
Um, but like especially over Christmas, like I could tell people were really stressed out, and the customers were taking it out on us a lot. Like people get up in my face when there's a pandemic. First of all, like shouting in my face. Had one guy telling me that I was trying to keep him stranded here at Christmas just because I I couldn't get him cash back because he didn't have his card on him. He only had his phone. When you want cash back, you have to put it into the card machine to confirm first that you want cash back. He's
Yeah.
like, well, that's not a very good system that you've got. I'm like, it's the same system in every store across the UK. I
I think
don't know what you want me to do about it. I didn't invent it. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do.
literally
He's
as
like, I
if
want to see the
you
manager. I was like,
personally,
yeah, cool.
yeah, get the
So
manager. 'Cause it's crazy with like retail customers, as if you personally created the cashback system. It, it just makes me laugh. That is very wild. I can't even imagine like what it's like to work in retail, especially in these times. Just yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't recommend it. I now understand why everyone hates working in retail because people suck. Unfortunately, please don't find me.
Please, it's the truth. It's the truth. What else can you say? Especially in these times, COVID. Like we have to take, opportunities that we have, jobs that we have, and just deal
Yeah.
with it. But yeah, things don't always go to plan in adulthood, and that's just how it is. But yeah. So one thing that we have to talk about when it comes to adulthood, and we've actually done an episode on this before, but I feel like it's an endless topic. There's so much when it comes to it. Is money,
Oh,
especially as an adult, like it changes like from when you're a child and then when you get, a check, your paycheck.
mm,
So yeah, like it's
mm.
just crazy. And one
It's just
thing,
stress.
huh?
It's just stressful because like people say money doesn't make the world go around, but it actually does. So
100%, yeah. And like when it comes to adulthood as well, like one thing is like school, we didn't really learn much about money in like terms of taxes and stuff and everything. Like a lot of that kind of stuff is new to us. Like when you get
I
your
don't know
first,
how you pay taxes at all.
no.
I know, like if you earn a certain amount of money, it will get taxed. Well, yours will get taxed, won't it?
Yeah, I think I am getting something. So I think we all have national insurance taken off automatically. And then I've got another deduction up, but I don't even know what it is. I'm just not questioning it. I'm like, okay. But yeah.
Government taking all my money. No, it's confusing. My
Yeah.
friend who used to like do freelance stuff, she had to like claim her her income, and that was confusing, I think. And I think that's me. If I do say it, I'll have to do that. So I'm like, how the fuck do I do that?
Honestly, yeah. I feel like maybe that's something they should have covered in uni and media as well, because a lot of the work that we will do, like once the industries are back up and running again, would be freelance. It's not like
Mm.
everyone like joins a massive company and stuff. Like all the projects that we do when we start to earn money, it would be freelance. So like managing that, and like it's not as simple as they teach you in school. They're like, oh, you get a job and then they take this off and then you do this with your employer. Like, it's not just one size fits all, especially for us as creatives, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, not it?
It
I remember
is.
my first paid theatre job. I was just thinking about it. I didn't realise I was going to get paid. I volunteered to go and help this woman I'd worked with, Steph, to help Talking Birds do a thing in Coventry about this like submarine. It was about like animals in danger, like sea life in danger, and like immigrants trying to cross the sea and stuff. And it was really educational. It was really fun. But like at the end of the day, she like gave me a bit of money, like cash in hand. She was like, "Here, paid you for a day's work," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't think I was going to get paid." That was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
just feel like I feel like at the minute because I only do part time. It's not very much money, so I feel like my money's just like really going quite fast. Like there's probably a lot of things that I could probably like not spend on, but like I feel like especially at the minute, like I'm buying things or like doing a lot of things to try and keep myself occupied because of lockdown.
yeah.
So it's not even like you can go around a friend's house and just like watch a film, like not spend any money. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's like different for other people. I feel like people aren't going out, so they aren't spending, but like I'm supporting like local businesses and stuff. Sorry, I've got something in my eye. But yeah, I don't know, mum. Just got no money all the
No,
time.
definitely. I can. It's hard. Like money just go quickly, and I agree with like in lockdown. Maybe at first, I would say first lockdown, I wasn't spending money. So when I had the last installment of student finance, that lasted me longer than it would. But now with the money I have now from working, it's going quickly, and that kind of like I did write a point down about the expenses of being an adult. So like there's things that you don't realize you have to buy and you have to get, and that just takes off slowly, chips away at your wages until you have nothing. So of course you've got more than me because you've got a car, and I don't even want to think about everything that comes with having a car. Like you mentioned before, insurance, and then there's probably MOT and road tax and
Oh my
petrol
god,
and
yeah.
like
When
fixing
my
things.
car broke down a bit, I started making this noise, and I was like, "This." Like, I usually blast my music in my car because I have a bit of a squeaky back seat,
Yeah.
so I blast my music in my car so I don't really hear it. And then I just started hearing. I smelt fumes in my car, and I was like, I don't smell that, ain't right.
Mm.
I was like, I don't know much about cars, that ain't right. And then I could hear it over my music at the car, and I was like, am I only just noticing this now, or is this new? Um, it started making loads. It was like vroom, 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 vroom when you start it up, and I was like, oh god. So it was due an MOT anyway, um, close to the time, but I had to go and get it done before the MOT. And it cost me like £250 or something. Had to have like a part of the engine replaced, and he was like, because I thought like I'm gonna take it there in the morning. He's gonna be like, all right, we'll pick a day for you to come and I'll do it. But he was like, no, you can't drive this because you are like, some people and their lives, they use the gas from the car thing. The car was doing that to me. He was like, you can't drive this, you're fumigating yourself. And I was like, oh my God. So that was that. And then I had my MOT and service at the same time. And that was like, it was like 150 or something. And I was like, where's all this money going? And then you got to pay for petrol as well.
God.
So I had a bit of savings. All my savings have gone on my car, but I've got it back up again. So I've got enough savings for my insurance. And when that's due, I'm going to ring them because last time I rang them and I told them like how many months my license has been since I've had it, not just the years. They like took money off. So I might like, if I still have no claims, I might ring up and be like, want to take it down a bit?
Ooh,
Um,
absolutely do it.
yeah.
No,
But I
finesse
had
it.
my first accident in my car yesterday. Sorry.
Oh, did you? Shit, what
Yeah,
happened?
well, I had an accident before, but it wasn't my fault. Like, I mean, an accident I caused.
Oh crap.
So we went to training with the fitness person, India, and I'm not very good at like I can reverse, but I'm not very confident at reversing as much as everything else. Like I won't reverse into a parking spot and stuff. Um, anyway, so I was reversing out of this like where I parked, and it's like really confined, and there's like cars everywhere, and I'm like stressed because you have to reverse out onto the road. Um, And I'm like, don't hit the car, don't hit the car. And as I'm looking not to hit the car, I hit a wheelie bin on the other side and it fell over. And my window, my mirror light went to the side. So I had to quickly get out, pull the bin up. And then someone walked out their house and I was like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
No.
So we got back in my car and I was like, get out, get out, get out. And I don't think India heard or saw, but I was like, I hope you didn't see how shit I am at reversing. But then there's stuff like that, like what if you have an accident and stuff like that? It's always money.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't even want to think about it. Like driving as it is, even before you get a car, or you get to your point where you're driving and there's so much like driving lessons and like the tests and
Oh,
stuff
that's
is expensive. That's what was going through before lockdown number 3. I had driving lessons and it's like this amount of much a week and then that adds up to how much a month and then that's just chipping away at your bank balance as well. But yeah, I guess that's part of adulthood. But I said adulthood really weird then, adulthood. Because even though there's a lot to pay for and it's stressful, don't you enjoy the independence of driving, being able to go where you want when you want?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely
I love
pros to it.
driving. I love it. The only thing I don't love is when it's rained and then it goes really sunny because there's the wet floor is really shiny and you can't see shit. I hate that. I was driving on the motorway when that happened before and I was like, I can't fucking see thing. I was like, let's just go roll with it. I'm quite small, so you know when you pull like the headboard thing down to stop the sun in your eyes, it didn't really do anything for me. So I have to sit up like that when it's sunny, so I can get the shade.
Let's
I
see.
truly hate it.
Nah, yeah.
Cars are expensive, and it's like, how do you like? So I want to save up for not. I'm not desperate. Like maybe a couple of years. I think my car will last. But like you got to save up for the car. But then what about saving up to move out? And then do you do rented or do you save for a house? Because the more you rent, the less you're going to be able to save for a house.
Read my mind exactly. I have this like daily, well, not daily dilemma, but I think about this a lot. Like, it's easier to rent because then you can just have your own place and you don't have any commitments and stuff. You don't have to stay there for the rest of your life. But then if you get a mortgage, like, you know, you're paying into that house and eventually it will be yours and stuff. So there's not really anyone, I don't think there is a right or wrong answer, like if it's better to rent or have a mortgage. Like it depends on your personal lifestyle and what you want in your future. But yeah, as a young adult going into the world, thinking about where you want to live your life, it's like a big decision and I don't really know much about it. Like it's crazy.
It's too stressful.
It's so stressful, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't know. I've thought about it a lot, but it's like I don't earn nowhere near enough money to even like be thinking about that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just not within my grasp. But I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just too stressful.
It is so stressful, and the thing is, I'm the same as you. I'm not thinking of moving out anytime soon. I mean, eventually, yeah, but like staying with my parents now, I'm fine. But like, I see other people my age. Like, I have a friend from school. She bought her own house, like, got a mortgage, like when she
Eh?
was 20, and like lives there with her boyfriend now. And I'm like, what? Like, I feel
I
so
see people like
behind.
that, like people that have like, not in a bad way, but like people our age that have families, like have kids and like whatever. And I'm just like, what? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I literally can't even get a date, let alone a fucking child. Like, what the fuck?
You know what I mean? Like I see tweets like this all over Twitter, like your 20s are such a real weird age because some people have got their own houses and babies and stuff, and I can't even get a date. My mum won't even let me out past 10 o'clock. Like
No, it's mad, isn't it?
the spectrum is wild.
It is. I just feel like as well, like at the minute, I can't even think about life because like it's just stopped. Like you can't even think about dating and whatever or getting a new car or a house because you can't do that shit anyway. So like, and then you think, oh, I need more money. So you're like, oh, I need to apply for a better job, and then you're like, but there is no jobs. So you just get stuck in this endless cycle of like being stuck. And it's like, ah,
Get me out!
let me out.
Oh, literally, like as if life wasn't hard enough as it is. I mean, this is like it's been really negative, but like with COVID, with
Yeah.
COVID on top. Yeah, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy. And yeah,
Sorry, this filter makes me look pang. That's the only good thing about today.
oh, it's cute. Go off, do it. I need to install this app. So next episode we're gonna be flexing.
Oh, yeah.
Looking very
Next
cute.
episode, we're popping off. Oh my
Oh,
god, for next episode as well, I'll have to look at related filters to what our topic is next episode.
oh, that's gonna be. Stay tuned. That's
Stay
gonna be.
tuned. Stay tuned. And if you are listening on Spotify or anything, I've installed a Snap camera for Zoom, so you can use like Snapchat filters. But yeah, money, depression.
Hate it. Literally hate
Hate
it.
it.
But
Truly.
yeah, I'm gonna move on to our final kind of topic that I've put, kind of like well-being and like living life as an adult and still having that balance. So like one thing I thought about when it comes to that is, are we ever too young or too old to do anything? Because I know people that will like judge people who are in their 20s saying, oh, why is she dressing like that? Why is she dressing like a teenager? She's too old to be doing that. Or why, do you know what I mean? That sort of stuff. Like, should we really like limit ourselves? I don't know.
I feel like as long as you take responsibility for your age, like as long as you're mature when you need to be mature, I think you can do what you want. Like it's really good to have like that inner child. That's what all the spiritual people say, like you're connecting to your inner child. And then like in theatre, we're like really connected to our inner child because we have to play. That's what our jobs are. We play all day. So I think it's really important to like have that mentality of connecting to playfulness, because like otherwise you're just literally living for like the next paycheck, and that's so depressing. Unless like obviously you really really love your job, but unfortunately not everyone gets to do their dream job. So I think it's really important to be childish in some aspects, but also it's all right to be mature for your age as well, I think. I don't think that means that then we can put responsibility on them people that are more mature for their age, because they may be actually too young to be a certain level of maturity. But it's okay as well to be like grown up about certain situations if you care about them and stuff. I don't see the problem. I think everyone's just too like up everyone's asses about stuff all the time. Just like chill. As long as they're not hurting anyone and not damaging society, just chill. Like,
Literally.
yeah, I see them furries in Coventry dressed up when I was there in first year, chilling in Godiva Square. But that ain't my problem, and I don't care. It ain't affecting my life. Let them furries dress up. Let them do their thing. Who am I to step in their way? Hope that's inspirational.
Hope we've changed your life there today.
Lucy for furries. That's all I gotta say.
Hashtag Lucy for Fairies 2020.
2021.
2021.
Let's go. Let's go. Lucy for Fairies 2021. That is as my presidency campaign. Lucy for Fairies 2021. Let's go.
That's good at the start of the teaser for this episode, just so everyone knows what kind of like what we're talking about, the priorities.
And then they're going to think, wow, this is going to be a really interesting episode. And then it's just talking about how sad we are because we're poor.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you want to dress up as a fairy, go ahead. You want to run around in a field and pretend, I don't know, that you're in a different wild with fairies, yeah, go ahead. You want to paint, do your thing.
Absolutely.
I don't care. Just chill, just relax.
100% agree. Like, yeah, I feel like people are way too judgmental, especially at our age, like what we're doing, what jobs we have, you know, where we're at, what we're wearing, what we're doing online. And it's not that deep. Like life doesn't always turn out as planned. So we should be able to be happy. Oh, go off, Queen.
I was just thinking about K-pop. I was thinking about TikTok, to be honest with you.
No.
Sorry, I was just thinking, like K-pop and like what people think of it, and it's just like chill, just relax. It's just music. Just relax.
Honestly, yeah. Like Literally, especially
down.
like you have older fans as well, and people like judge. I don't think it's as bad as it used to be, but like I love how like it's normal now. Like you just listen to the
Listen,
music you
K-pop
like.
fans came to the fucking. They saved. They came. They were saviors. They came and they helped the Black Lives Matter movement. We're getting in them DMs. We're getting in them replies. Spotlight.
Honestly, man,
Oh,
honestly,
dear.
man. But yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, I'm
Just
gonna be like realistic a bit. Like, I don't think there's obviously situations where you have to be mature, like in the workplace or whatever, depending on what you're doing. But in
Mm.
terms of your personality, I don't think it. I think it's we need to stop like forcing people to be mature and be like, oh, I'm 20 now, I can't do this, I can't have fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we need to hold on to our youth
And
and our
it's really
joy.
weird because, like, I was talking with my mum once about like what she was doing at not my age now, but this was a few years ago. But like when it was considered for me to need to be mature, she was at an age when she was younger where people still played with toys and stuff. Like she still had dolls and this and that, and it's like weird because it was like that's so weird to think like that I've not grown out of that, but it's like been enforced in me that that's something I need to have grown out of by that age. And it's just strange because obviously they didn't have phones and stuff as well. So like they really just had like the things around them, like toys and whatever it was, magazines to like keep them entertained and maybe a bit of TV. So yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Like how through the generations it changes as well. It's
Yeah,
mad.
literally. Yeah, that's a great point because I feel like when I look at my younger sister now as well, like they don't even watch TV anymore. They're so mature, like on their phones all the time. They don't play with toys. They don't play outside. So it's like they're maturing even younger. So they're becoming more adult-like and stuff, and they're losing that idea of youth that they had
Mm.
before.
I miss like going to the corner shop
Mm.
and getting loads of sweets, like using all my money to buy a load of sweets, and then we'd go to the park. I had a park behind my house, so then we'd go to the park behind my house and then like eat the sweets on the park. And once I got ratted out, I'm angry to it to this day. They were
Call them out.
selling.
Call them out right now.
I want to talk to the man who worked in the co-op down the road from me. You know who you are. There was these big bars of Cadbury's chocolate, right?
Yeah.
And like I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get one. They were like massive, not even like the ones that you get now. It was like massive one. I was like, oh my god, I'm so gonna get it. So I got it, and I was like, if my mum sees how much chocolate I got, I'm getting in trouble. So I was like, I'll have some and I'll hide it under my bed. Anyway, me and mum went to the co-op that night, and I think she just got me a bar of chocolate, like not like the same one, but she got me a bar of chocolate. And the guy was like, "Oh, you're getting more chocolate, are you?
How
Why would you
dare
fucking
you?
say that in front of my mum? Why would you fucking say that? How dare he disrespect a customer? That is confidential information that you've just shared.
GDPR, what's going on?
Well, what if that was a birthday present from me? Now you've ruined it. I just makes me mad to this day. I don't want to talk about it really, actually, to be honest. We move on. A bit sensitive.
Sensitive topic, but wow, yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't upset me a bit, just brings flashbacks and I don't think about it.
no,
He's not worth my time and energy.
absolutely not. Move on, move on. But yeah, oh dear. But yeah, that yeah, I don't know how to follow that.
Follow it either.
Oh, it'd
All I
be
know is
like
I was
that.
getting in trouble and I had to share my secret stash with my chocolate. And you know what? That's probably why I'm so obsessed with like keeping my food to myself now. And they wonder where all this obsession comes from. I've been traumatized. I just hope you
Childhood
know
trauma.
it is childhood trauma. I'm telling you right now. And you know
Oh,
what I miss as well? I miss the days where my nana will pick me up from school, take me to the corner shop, and she let me buy a packet of crisps and bar of chocolate every day, right? Every day after school, okay? And then my mum started picking me up, and I don't remember this, but mum was like, every time I pick you up on a Friday, you'd get really upset, and I couldn't work out what it was. And apparently it was because she didn't take me to the corner shop to get chocolate and crisps.
that's
How
what she
fucking
needed.
peak is that? Kids are so peak. Like, can you imagine, like, your mum coming to pick you up, like, she doesn't think she spends enough time with you, and then you're like, why are you here?
Go away. Oh my god,
Oh god, that's
that's
peak.
too
Kids are
funny.
savage. Kids are so savage.
Kids. But I do wish I was a kid. If we could go
Oh.
back, honestly. But
I
yeah,
don't want to go back. We say that, but then would you want to go back and do GCSEs and stuff again? No way. Mad. How have they got me doing like 28 exams in like 4 weeks? Are they mad?
that is cool. That is very, very cool. Absolutely correct. But
That's
I always,
abuse.
huh?
That's
Oh,
abuse. I'm telling you straight up, it's abuse.
absolutely,
It's
definitely
abuse.
abuse. I always think though, when I have like this conversation with like other people, I'm
No,
like,
you're gonna say something really controversial, aren't you?
I just say when I think if I could go back to school, I would like fight. Do you ever think that? Like, I feel like I did not enjoy my childhood to the fullest. Like, if I could go back, I would like go and make more
Go
trouble,
scrap.
fight people. Yeah, because like, you can't do that now as an adult. Like, it's not acceptable. If I want to fight someone, I have to hold it in.
It wasn't acceptable back then either, I assume, by the way. It's not acceptable now or then. I
Oh,
did hit back a few people at school though. I mentioned I punched a girl in the face once.
what?
Yeah.
Nah, what happened?
To be honest, but it wasn't like a proper punch in the face. Like it was a crowd, and I just tried to bang her out, you know. She said something about me, so I'd had enough.
Nah, you can't let
I
that
was
slide.
like, "That is annoying." And then some guy called me fat at school, and we were playing tennis. And he kept calling me, I don't know, he kept calling me a fat or something. It was getting on my nerves. And then in the end, he went to grab the tennis ball off the floor, and I just got my tennis racket and I went boom on his head. Oh, boom. Right in his hand, I split his finger open, right? I
Oh,
got sent to the head teacher's office, right?
yeah.
And do you know what she said to me?
Oh.
When he had it coming. And I was like, oh,
Emma.
because I was like shitting myself that like my dad was a head teacher at the time. And I was like, oh my God, how embarrassing if another head teacher rings my dad and be like, your daughter's been in trouble for fighting. But anyway, I was like, I'd had enough because I was like really upset. And he was like, you're just calling me all these things. I just snapped. She was like, look, I'm not going to say it's right, but he had it coming. And I was like, yeah, I was like, she was quite strict as well. So I was quite surprised she said that. I was like, fair play. She was like, you've got a detention, but yeah, don't do it again. And I was like, fair play.
Damn. I mean, respect. I love
He
that.
didn't do it ever again, so
There you go. He learned his lesson. Um,
that
I
bitch.
don't know how we got onto this tangent, but I just want to stress that this is
Sorry.
not the point of this episode. And
Sorry.
we do not promote violence.
No violence. End violence. Hashtag BTS. End violence. Let's go.
Absolutely, absolutely. But moving on to the
I
last
would go
point.
back to school and I would scrap a bitch. But hashtag BTS and violence.
Hashtag. Okay, last point about like well-being and stuff. So what I find really difficult about adulthood now is like keeping a social life, especially in lockdown, like seeing friends and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
bro, I don't talk to anyone.
huh?
I don't talk to anyone.
Mood. It's just like who has the time? Do you know what I mean?
I know. It's depressing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Like, one thing, like, I think with lockdown is like me and my friend Kira, we went on a walk for lockdown. And we both came to like the same agreement that like we haven't really been speaking or like texting each other. And it's not because like there's a problem with us or anything, but we both literally just agreed that we have like nothing to talk about. Like nothing's happened. Like usually we like to have a gossip and stuff or whatever, or we don't see, so it's not like, oh, you want to go cinema, let's talk about this, or this film's coming out. Like we talk about those sort of things as well.
Mm,
And we both literally agreed like we know we're not being maliciously like not talking to each other. It's just there's nothing to talk about.
yeah,
So we just haven't really spoken as much.
literally. I feel like it's a lot easier when we're kids, right? Or even at uni because we have to go in. We've got responsibilities to learn together, to go in and we see each other every day, and we're like experiencing things together, like uni, whatever.
Yeah.
But now at work, it's just like we've got a job to do, we do it. And you can be friends with your colleagues, or you might not be, but yeah, your actual friends, it's hard. Like you have to schedule time. Like I was talking to my friend and I haven't like spoke to her or seen her in a while. And we were like, shall we go on a walk? And we were like, yeah. And it was like, when are you free? I'm not free this weekend, I'm working. And it's like, just to go on a simple walk, probably see each other for like half an hour or an hour. You have to schedule it, find the right time. And it's like so much effort now you're an adult. It's crazy.
Harder as well because it's winter as well, and it gets so dark so early. So
Yeah.
it's like you can't. That's why this lockdown's so hard as well, because it's like after like 4 or 5, like that's it, it's dark. So it's like you can't go out and do anything. So yeah, it's a bit shit, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, again, you like start living for work and not for like friendships and stuff, and that's why like you have to do something you enjoy. So it like makes up for it. And I'm not doing something I particularly enjoy right now, so it's a bit shit, really, isn't
It
it?
is absolutely. But I guess we've just got to keep going, crack on, like, and make time. It is really, really difficult, like we said, with work and stuff, and life can all about work. But as long as we, keep trying to see our friends, like go on walks and stuff, like that's what's going to get us through, I reckon.
Yeah. Wait, I've still got your kimchi in the fridge
Mm.
and all these ramen that I've got for you.
Right.
When are you gonna get this shit? Hopefully, I think as long as it's not opened. I mean, kimchi don't really go off because it's fermented, but I'm hoping because it's not been opened, it'll be all right by the time you get it. Because I've got the same for my mum's friends. I've made them some, and obviously we haven't been able to go because we wanted to go on a walk with them, but that's not happened, obviously. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
my
tough.
fridge is just full of kimchi.
We're,
So
we're gonna schedule a walk. It's hard. It's hard to do it, but we're gonna see each other soon, hopefully, and then I'll come get the kimchi. It'll be good. But yeah, I guess that brings us to the end of the episode. We've talked a lot, and it hasn't been intentional, but we've kind of like focused on the negative sides. But there are positive sides to adulthood, like we mentioned before, like independence,
I can't
driving
scrap that
around.
one anymore. I can't. I want to scrap. Let's go. I'm
I
mad
want
now.
to fight.
I'm mad. I'm ready to go. I want to scrap that guy in co-op.
Oh, the chocolate bar guy.
No, I can't even remember what he looks like. He's lucky. If I ever see him, dead ass.
Looking, it's over. It's a wrap.
Over.
Oh my god.
Gone. Life will flash before his eyes. He's a dead man walking. Don't know it. All right, I need to shut up now. Okay, sorry.
We've ended
So
this episode with
the
a
end
threat.
of this topic. And next week, should we reveal what we're going to talk about? Should we do a drum roll?
Go on, let's do it.
And next week, we're talking about Trump.
Ta-da!
Not the thing that comes out your arse, but Donald Trump. We're gonna watch this documentary that we didn't realize was 4 episodes. So we were gonna watch the first episode and do it, and then we were like, damn, that's 4 hours that we haven't got right now.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We might have some Snapchat filters to use next episode. I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's talk about how that is gone.
Absolutely. The man we're free of him. There's so much to talk about there.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good episode. But
anyway, but before we end this episode, what should we talk about this episode to raise awareness in our last 5 minutes? What are we talking about, Aisha?
Okay, so we are going to talk about the protests currently happening in Delhi, in India, for farmers, for justice for farmers. We have mentioned this before on the podcast when it was back in September last year, I believe. The government have introduced 3 bills for farmers that really threaten farmers and agriculture and how the whole business works. It will, privatize the whole industry and give like corporations direct access to farmers and really like won't give them like fair wages and so much going on. But we will put lots of information so you can read about it. But recently there's been some protests in India to get it repealed because these farmers' lives are being threatened, their livelihoods are are really in danger at the minute. And in response to these protests, the Indian government and police have reacted really poorly and really scarily. Like there's a lot of police brutality going on.
It's mad.
So yeah,
Really
it's
bad.
similar sort of thing to what we saw like with Black Lives Matter protests in America. They're using tear gas batons. Is that how you say it? Batons? Yeah. There's a photo of someone standing on someone's head, and obviously that resonated with a lot of people because it's similar to the police officer having his knee on the neck of George Floyd, and it's just crazy that this police brutality is happening in this day and age.
I know as well. There's a 7 thing. I think it's called like 7 things Indian government have done wrong or something with the protests and stuff, and like apparently they like cut all Wi-Fi and like signals or something like that during the protests so that people couldn't share things that were happening and stuff like that as well, which is quite scary. Which is a bit like the SARS. Was it a bit like the SARS stuff? Didn't that happen with SARS? Like they cut
Yeah.
the communication with the outside world.
Yeah.
So it's not being broadcast as much, and obviously in the UK they're gonna fucking broadcast that shit anyway because they don't give a fuck. So we are going to share some more details on it, maybe some accounts and stuff like that, and we'll put it below. I know, like doing what's it called when you sign stuff, petitions. Petitions might not necessarily help, but at least spreading the word will hopefully mean that sort of stuff will get into the media. So that I don't know, something will happen. I don't know how it all works, but hopefully something will happen soon because it's just getting crazy again.
Literally, all we can do is try it. I mean, a lot of people, like you said, think but petitions don't work and stuff, but it's better to do it than do nothing at all.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I just mean that we'll put all the things that we can below. Hopefully something will happen. Hopefully.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the episode. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode with us this week. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time with Trump talking about that idiot. But hopefully it'll be an interesting one. And we have planned a lot of episodes coming up, so we've got some good ones coming up. I'm very excited, especially to have somebody on our podcast who's going to teach us some very important lessons. So stay tuned for all of that, and let's hope 2021 brings good things for this podcast.
So thank you all for listening, tuning in, liking, supporting in any way that you have. If this is your first time listening, thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed, and we hope that you'll come with us on this journey. That got really profound, but yeah. Thanks.
Hashtag Lucy for Furries 2021. Okay, we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.